Get this man a shield.
What the heck is up, you guys? It's your boy Ace, aka Animated Heroes, here back with another action figure review. As you guys can see today, we're going to be taking a look at the Medicom Mafex Marvel Avengers Infinity War Captain America. And this is probably my favorite version of Captain America from the entire MCU series. I just thought the whole rogue version of him was very, very dope. I like the idea of it. And Chris Evans just portrayed that very, very well. And so I've been excited for this figure ever since it went up for pre-order. But let's not waste any time. Let's go ahead and take a look at that sexy packaging so we can get to the figure itself. Now, if you did end up getting the Mafex store, then you should already know what to expect. You've got this yellow and bluish color. It kind of has like a space look at the top of it. It says Avengers Infinity War, Marvel, of course. You got the window packaging where you can see the figure, some of the accessories, two pictures of them down at the bottom. Infinity War, Captain America, Mafex, number 122, Medicom toy, Avengers logo right there, all the legal stuff on the bottom. Dope image of him on the side holding one of the enemy staffs. I don't remember any of the names because I'm not a Marvel guru, but you do have Avengers Infinity War. I can't even talk. On the side, we have him in this dope running pose. I really love this right here. Avengers Infinity War, Mafex number 122. Then on the back, you've got a ton of poses you can get him into, as well as the accessories as well. So let's go ahead and bust this guy open because everyone's here to see, is this better than the SH Figure Arts? Now, the very first thing that I want to specify having this figure out of the package is that, man, this thing looks and feels amazing. It almost doesn't feel like a Mafex figure. I know sometimes people like to complain about the plastic and how sometimes they can feel very cheap. That is true, definitely with some of their Spider-Man releases, but with this guy, it's completely different, at least in my opinion. Something about this guy just feels amazing, and the detail on it it's just stupendous. It's so crazy, and I love it. One thing that I really like is that you can actually see the rips and tears in the costume from when he ripped off the logo, the star logo on his chest. That's dope. And on top of that, this is the best face sculpt we've gotten. Chris Evans has that perfect face that is sometimes extremely difficult for companies to manufacture a figure of, but this is about as good as it's going to get, in my opinion. It's not perfect. Something still looks a little off, but for the most part, it looks great. Like, this almost makes me think of like a Manipple head sculpt. And if you know who he is, then you know his head sculpts that he puts out for figures. Excuse me, but man, this thing is so sick. I love this a lot. And I'll get into the details. You guys can see you've got the sculpted hair. I love how they did that. All the line work looks very clean. In the beard, it's a little bit darker, and that actually kind of resembles like real hair because sometimes your beard is darker than your actual hair. That looks so dope there. You've got the blue eyes, as you guys can see, the lips, the nose. It just really resembles his face, and I love that they did this so well. You've got these straps on him, as you guys can see. Everything's like painted very, very nicely. It's not one solid color. It's like 2-3 different color or shades of brown. Then you've got some silver in there. I don't even know what some of this is for, but it goes all the way to the back where you could see he would normally have his shield. The shoulder pads look really good, and they don't hinder the arm movement. That's one thing I was worried about, but they don't. That's dope. The butterfly joints are there, but I'll get to the articulation later. Just the texturing, the sculpt on the chest. Oh my gosh, man. This thing is so amazing. I wish I had the SH Figure Arts to compare. I held that figure in my hand for like 2 minutes, probably a month after it came out, and I was like, nah, this ain't it, fam. But this guy right here, all the way from head to toe, you see the sculpted detail in the boots, the shoes. These look like some steel toe shoes. Man, the knee pads, this dude is just dope. I really like this a lot. And I am not a big Captain America fan. I'm here to stress that. I am not a big Captain America fan. I am a fan of the MCU Captain America, as well as a lot of other Avengers. I'm just not really like a Marvel guy. But this figure is just absolutely amazing, man. In terms of detail, there's no comparison to this at all. This is just dope. But I could brag on that all day. Let's go ahead and put him back so we can see how tall he stands. Now, to the top of his head, Captain America, or Steve Rogers, stands a little bit over 6 inches, a little under 6.5, which I think this is typical Mafex height. He does feel like he's a little bit tall, but not too tall. Of course, I will be showing some size comparisons later so that we can see how he stacks up with some of the other Avengers figures I have in my collection. Moving right along to that articulation, he looks up only about that much, but as you guys can see, the hair is actually touching the back of the neck. I do want to check something real quick. He doesn't have the curved ball peg in his neck, so that's about as much as you're going to get out of him. So he doesn't have that. Don't be expecting it. Just wanted to show you guys. But he looks down very, very well. He can pretty much look at the ground if you want him to. He does get a little bit of tilt. Now, you're going to be hindered just a bit by the collar piece right here, but you can still get him to be very expressive, no problem, so I'm happy with that. His arms go up and out that much. This is probably the main thing that makes me happy, the fact that you can get his arms to go up very, very far, even with the shoulder pads, because that's normally an issue with import figures. They like to make these floating pieces, and it just really hurts the articulation sometimes, but that is not an issue here at all. You do get a butterfly joint. It's not the best, but you can still bring his arm in about that much, so when he's swinging his shield, he's not going to have any problem hitting targets in front of him. He does have a bicep swivel. He does have double jointed elbows that come in actually pretty far. His hands are on a hinge, a much sturdier hinge than what we normally get from Mafex. Once again, showcasing that they are improving quality. This thing doesn't feel fragile. The hand came right off. I don't feel like this is going to break, so that's dope. Also, if you guys hear any noise, I'm sorry. It's just some crap going on in my neighborhood. But yeah, anyway, diaphragm joint. He leans back about that much. Forward, not too much, but you can get a lot of it out of the waist right here. So as you can see, he can go back even further. Forward about that much. You do get twist and turn, and you also get it at the diaphragm joint. So very, very well. As far as the legs go, it is on a drop down method. He can kick out about that much. So he can totally give some enemies the boot if you wanted him to. He can do the splits about that much. I wouldn't push it any further. That's definitely enough to get a super kick out of him. Shawn Michaels, if you guys know what I'm talking about. But he does also have a thigh swivel built right in. As far as the knees go, double jointed. It seems like they should be able to go back a little bit further, but no, that's about as much as you get, which that's still fine with me. As far as the foot goes, you don't really get as much articulation out of the foot as I would like, simply because of the way it's designed. You get very little rocker. I don't really think you get any at all. His foot goes down about that much, up. It almost doesn't move at all. This is one of the only gripes I have with this guy, is that the feet don't really do anything. You do get a toe hinge, but for the most part, like if you want to pose him in a fighting pose, let's say, and you want to, and this is going to be a pretty terrible fighting pose, you can barely move the foot at all to plant it flat. And so, actually, I think that's the trash truck you guys are hearing. So if you hear that, yeah, that's what it is. But, yeah, adjusting my camera, that's about as much as you can do with the feet. That's one of my only gripes. And while it's on my mind, I'll actually speak on the other. The other gripe I have is that, let's get him standing up straight so I can show you. The arms don't come all the way down. This is about as far down as you can get them. You can kind of curve it a little bit and make them come in, but you can't really get his arms straight by his side. I think it's because of these straps right here. I don't think this is, yeah, that's not meant to be removed. But as far as getting his arms by his side, that's about as much as you can get them down. So that's a small drawback for me, but I do want to mention it because I know some people like to do straight up vanilla poses. Now, if this figure hasn't already sold you, it's only about to get better, because in terms of accessories, this guy comes with more than enough. First off, I want to show this face because it looks so much better than I was expecting it to. This is the alternate head sculpt where he kind of has his teeth gritted. Basically, he's in the middle of battle, and this looks so good. once again, they're killing it with the face sculpts. Like, it's not 100% Chris Evans, as I said earlier, but it is pretty freaking close. And let me get some more light on that. That just looks so good, man. Mafex is killing it out here. Anyway, moving on, you do get 2 shields, these smaller versions of them, and I'll actually show the second. But you get 2 of these as well. This is the extended version of the shield, so you guys know they're not the same. As I said, you do get 2 of these, and they're just black and like a silver color. He holds on to them from behind. As you can see, you just like latch him onto one of his hands. But still, the sculpt and paintwork on these, very nice, very accurate to the movie. So I dig that. And one thing that I love that they're doing right now, mostly because it makes it easier for me to review, is giving us these, I don't know what these are called, but like this plastic that hooks into the hands. For one, it keeps those holes from shrinking due to weathering. Therefore, it makes it easier to put the hands on them, but once again, it makes it easier for me to review. But in terms of hands, you get a ton. You get like some gripping hands for the shield. You get what almost looks like a pair of trigger hands, which once again, all of this is for the shield. And there's one that's actually for another accessory I'll show in just a sec. You get a pair of open palm hands and then a pair of wide open palm hands. You also get 2 pointing fingers. So a ton of hands with this guy, not including the fist hands that he comes with. But what I really, really love is that I know that they did this to compete with Tamashii Nations. I know for a fact. But they threw in this spear, or not spear. Actually, I think this is a spear. I don't know. But it's one of the bad guys' weapons from the movie. And this one just looks so much better than the one that came with the SH Figuarts version. There's a whole lot of detail in it. The paintwork is better. It's a little bit more shiny, and I know some people like shiny things, so that makes it even better. But the paintwork on this is so nice. I love the fact that they included this. Even though he only held this for probably 10 seconds in the movie, the fact that they included it, I thought was like very interesting. Maybe it was in the concept art, and so they just decided to do it, but this looks dope. And if that's not enough, you get another one. And I don't even think he held this one, because in the promo pictures, like, it's showing him guarding against this one. So one of the other enemies used this. I don't know who. But this one I'd say be careful with, because it's a little bit more of a bendable plastic. So this can definitely snap and probably even be warped a little bit. But it's mostly a black color, but you do have a blue into it right here. I don't remember who used this, but yeah, ton of accessories basically. And of course, he comes with a stand as well. Now, this isn't something that I really always do, especially when it comes from 2 different iterations of a character. It's just that I felt like you guys really needed to see this. You can tell, like, sometimes figure companies really like to go all in, and then sometimes, I'm not going to say it's half done by other companies, but it's just completely off. Like, the look of both of these is night and day. Like, this guy right here really looks like Chris Evans, and it's just all there. Everything about the facial definition, everything about the sculpt work, the detail. Whereas this guy right here, it just looks so off. I don't know what it is. It's just the small things like that. Even the paintwork on this looks kind of off. Like, it looks like a very soft sculpt compared to this one, where it's just like they nailed it. And even on these faces as well, like, I don't feel like there's much I have to say on these at all. But this actually looks like an angry Chris Evans. So this has me excited to see their next Captain America. I really think they're gonna kill it, because this right here, man, I don't even like this anymore. Now, moving on to some size comparisons, I do want to make sure I get everyone that's important, so I'm going to probably have a whole lot of Avengers to show him off next to. First off, we do have the SH Figuarts Avengers Nick Fury, the SH Figuarts Avengers Endgame, Cap vs. Cap version, and then the SH Figuarts Avengers Endgame Final Battle Edition Iron Man. Next up, here he is standing next to a Mafex or Medicom Toys Avengers Endgame Iron Spider. an SH Figure Arts Avengers Infinity War Bucky, and this is with the Manipple Studio head sculpt on it. So the person I was talking about earlier, they just look so good together, him and Cap, of course, standing side by side. And then we also have the SH Figure Arts Black Widow. This is her from her original movie that should be coming out, I don't know when, but it's coming out. Here he is standing next to an SH Figure Arts Avengers Infinity War Black Panther, the SH Figure Arts Avengers Infinity War Thanos, I don't know, people correct me every time. And of course a Mafex or Medicom Toys Avengers Infinity War Thor. And lastly, for some extras, I had to dial it back a little bit, but here he is standing next to a NECA Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles foot soldier. Of course, I had to throw in a Hulk. I believe this is the SH Figure Arts Avengers Infinity War version. I don't know at this point. And of course, the Marvel Legends. Oops, I meant to say the G.I. Joe Classic Cobra Infantry. Now, I know I say this a lot, but it is something I am going to keep saying. Mafex is killing the game right now. Like, I get it for a lot of people. The price point might be a little too hefty. And that totally makes sense because $90 for an action figure, some people just aren't willing to drop that, especially when there are other companies making these characters. And even though the quality is not going to be the same, I get why people would want to spend that. But if you're someone who likes very good articulation and accessories like myself with almost unlimited options, Mafex is the way to go because the options are really limitless with this guy. Like, this could go down as one of my favorite figures of the year, and that includes the issues that I have with this figure. I don't know what it is, man. I just wish I had more time so that I could add photos at the end of this video, but there will be a lot of them on my Instagram for sure. But this guy right here, man, honestly, if he's within your collecting means, pick this figure up. This is so dope. Like, this has me really excited for the next Captain America they're going to release. I'm stoked for it at this point, and I believe it's the in-game version. I am stoked for that figure after receiving this because this guy is just so dope. Like, I mentioned the issues I had and still love this guy. Like, I'm just rambling at this point. I'm gonna stop. But seriously, guys, no joke. Pick this figure up. I wouldn't wait on this one. This is one I definitely wouldn't pass on. If it's in your mind, if you have a thought of picking this figure up, get it. Because I'm pretty sure anyone would much rather pay 90 bucks than whatever the aftermarket price might be for this guy. I know some people who slept out on some Mafex figures and now they're not willing to pay what they go for. So don't sleep on this guy. Pick it up, especially if you are a fan of the character, especially if you are a fan of the movie. But that being said, that's my review. I hope you guys enjoyed it. If so, don't forget to give it a thumbs up. That always helps me out. Subscribe to my channel. I'm almost at 10K, guys. Please get me to 10K. I would appreciate that so freaking much. Please subscribe to my channel. Make sure to check for my content. Follow me on everything you see listed in the description below to keep up with my activity outside of YouTube. I hope you guys have a great and safe day wherever you are, and bye.